Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend and that your family had a good weekend and that you and your family are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Today is Monday, the 9th day of March, 2026. I hope that you all, again, had safe and healthy weekends and the needs of your family being met. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders every day doing their best, including weekends, to save lives. Those that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The people that are out here trying to help and rescue people that are victims of prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators. Double curses on the profiteers and double curses on the perverts that create the demand that cause these things to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game yesterday in Los Angeles, California. New York Knicks lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in a game that really, it was again, the culprit was energy. It's energy. And this is the type of time of the season where this is always the culprit. See, teams have to fight through energy lapses, and it's difficult. It's not easy, and everybody has to deal with it. All teams have to deal with it. Detroit has lost 4 in a row, for example, because they all have to deal with the same issues. And that's what makes the playoffs so intense, because the playoffs, you don't have to deal with energy issues. Because in the playoffs, you get time to get ready for the playoffs, and then you get time between games in the playoffs. There's no back-to-backs in the playoffs, okay? And you actually, it's almost like baseball in that you stay in one of the cities 2 or 3, 4 days. Then you travel to the other city, stay there 2, 3, 4 days. So it's much different game, and players at that point, especially playoff team guys, are conditioned to the rigors of the season. So that is what's going on now. So yesterday was a typical example. So the Knicks, to me, you held the Lakers to 110 points. So that shows me that even though there was a lack of energy that the Knicks displayed, even though that was the case, and again, every team goes through this. The Lakers average 115, 116 points a game. The Knicks held them below that. And as an example, let's just look at the last 4 or 5 days. The Lakers lost on Thursday to Denver. That was a low energy game for the Lakers. The Knicks played Denver on Friday and blew them out. Part of the reason is Denver was low energy. The Knicks lose to the Lakers on Sunday because the Knicks were low energy. See, it's very, at this time of year, energy and injuries are probably the 2 biggest factors in all the games from this point in March to the end of the season. Okay. And again, the Knicks have a very tough schedule, and we're in the midst of a road trip right now. So it's hard to gauge from game to game. You can kind of guess and sometimes be right. For example, we knew that Denver was coming off a back-to-back. We were the second night of a back-to-back, but we also knew that Denver had been one of the best teams this year in back-to-backs and oftentimes would win their second game of a back-to-back. So we didn't know what to expect. Of course, you got to come with all your guns every night. So the Knicks did, and they won. Well, here, Sunday they came, and you could kind of see it. First off, and it's almost textbook. When the Knicks lose, there's always the same cast of issues. They weren't getting the defensive rebounds to close out a possession. LA was killing us on the offensive boards. The Knicks had too many turnovers, led by Jalen Brunson. Again, see, he was shooting the ball too much. He was dribbling too much. I was screaming at TV, and I knew we had a problem because he was dribbling too much from the first half. When he does it in the fourth quarter, it's kind of expected. And the reason it worked is because Brunson is an assassin and a gamer. So him, Hart, McCall, when they're engaged in the fourth quarter, they have that second gear that they turn to. You wish they would turn it on in the first, but it is what it is. They turn on that second gear in the first quarter, and you now know many times the Knicks have come back and won games when they were down going into the fourth quarter because of that. So I expect him, that is Brunson, to try to shoot, to try to handle the ball, to try to do it in the fourth quarter. And again, the Knicks did that. And you look at the fourth quarter yesterday, the Knicks outscored the Lakers 28-22 in the fourth quarter. See, because that's what they do. So whereas the Lakers outscored them by 14 in the third when they took control of the game. Now, again, you're looking at this game last night against the Lakers, and look at the bench here. So Shamet was minus 18. Okay, because he was out there 27 minutes. He was out there like a starter, which is normal. They had to use Jordan Clarkson for some reason. I'm thinking maybe Shamet's neck was bothering him. I didn't understand going to Clarkson. I didn't understand it at that time, except I had to guess that maybe Shamet's neck was bothering him, and they know he got to play tonight. So there, that. But Clarkson was +4. Mitch Rob was minus 11. Okay, he was limited on the boards. He was trying his best defensively. They just didn't have it. Diawara was +1. Diawara continues to be a net plus for the Knicks when he gets minutes. 15 minutes, he was +1. So, but Brunson takes 19 shots. Cat takes 17. That's not too bad. But Brunson has 7 assists and 7 turnovers. With Brunson, his energy problem usually shows up in turnovers. Okay? Bad passes, dribbling into double teams, getting the ball stolen from him. That is usually how it shows up. And again, I'm not trying to crap on Brunson, as some of you probably will because they lost the game. No, it's just part of being in the league. He just had a rough game. His energy was low. It is what it is. He still scored 24, but he took the most shots. Okay, he was 8 for 19. He shot the ball decently from 3. 3 of 8. He shot the ball very good from 3. And then Cat shot the ball tough, from 3, 1 for 5. Cat is solid at the line. He's very solid at the line. 8 for 8 yesterday. And so, and of course, he had 16 boards. So we can't whine about Cat. But it is what it is. It's not an individual player. And again, some of y'all going to come on here and whine about some individual. Some of y'all going to whine about Brunson. Some of y'all going to whine about Towns. Some of y'all going to whine about Hart. Some of y'all going to whine about McCall because he's on the nut yesterday. But let me explain again. If Brunson is not passing the ball, you have eliminated Mikal Bridges from the offense. Okay? If the ball is not moving, you have just basically neutralized Mikal Bridges. The ball has to move. For you to see prime Mikal Bridges, that ball got to move. Yesterday, they had a total of 23 assists. That ain't going to make it happen. Okay? That ain't going to make it happen. So with Bridges, he plays 27 minutes because they needed him out there for his defense. And he did not score. He only had 6 shots. And they weren't in the spots. And they weren't because the ball wasn't moving. Again, it's not hard to figure out when you actually analyze the game, which is why I wait till the next day to come out my video. People on X come out immediately and come out with some stupidity. But no, you have to look. Mikal Bridges is effective or most effective when the ball is moving. If it's not, he's not going to be effective. He's not an off the dribble guy, one-on-one guy. He's a team guy, and he's a guy that works very well when the ball's moving because he runs the floor like a deer, okay? And he can run for miles on the floor, literally. So that's that. But it was an energy thing. And so whenever there's low energy on the Knicks, they fall into the exact same problems. Brunson shooting too much, holding the ball too much. McCall not as effective. When they're low energy, and of course not getting out to 3-point shooters. Now yesterday, I was not as disappointed. I mean, they held the Lakers to 34% 3-point shooting, and that's very good because the league average is 35. So they held them below league average in 3-point shooting yesterday. Luka had 5 threes, but he took 16. He took 16 threes. He shot less than 33% from 3. So that I'm glad. Rui Hachimura was killing us. He hit 3, but it seemed like it was big 3. And Luke Kennard had 3 3-pointers. But overall, it was energy. It was energy. They were not getting out to those shooters, and they still. I guess what I'm saying is, in spite of low energy, below par game for our Knicks. The positives is they held them to 110 points. They kept them below league average on the 3-point line. And then, again, you cannot win in the league, especially against playoff level teams with 18 turnovers. It's just not going to happen. So the Knicks had 18 turnovers yesterday. That's not going to get it done. And they know that. See, I'm not saying anything that Coach Brown and every player on that team, especially rotation pieces, don't already understand. And so they're not robots. You can't say just do this and they're going to do it every night. No team does that. Okay? So I don't want to hear all the whining today. They lost the game. Okay? On to the next. What we want to see though, it would be really good if they could win tonight against the Clippers. Now, they're still in LA, so it ain't like they had to go on some big flight somewhere. Okay, my understanding, the Clippers got their own stadium, but it's still in the same city. So basically, the Knicks in the same hotel. They ain't got to go nowhere. So that's good. And then they got to play the Clippers tonight. They got to do their best. And again, you can remember now, energy cannot always be predicted. Yes, it's the second night of a back-to-back, and you would expect low energy. But these are among the best athletes on planet Earth. Not just basketball players. They're the best basketball players on planet Earth in the league, but also some of the greatest athletes on planet Earth. So sometimes they can recover and come back strong the next night. Like I said, Denver won a lot of second nights of back-to-backs this year. The Knicks have won back-to-backs this year. They won at least 3 or 4 back-to-backs this year. So they're not going to win this one. But it's possible for them to come out with energy tonight and win this basketball game. Now, I'm not sure. I want to see who is on the injured list for our heroes today. I want to see if particularly Landry Shamet. So Mitchell Robinson is not going to play. You know he's not going to play tonight. And Deuce is listed as out, of course, because of the core issue that he had. So we're going to be missing Mitchell Robinson. We're going to be missing Deuce, which means you're going to see some aerial hoop porting. You may see some Sohan play 5. Against Denver, Sohan did play some 5. You're going to see some OG play 5. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Can they win tonight? Yes, they can win tonight. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. And so we just got to pull for our boys, and hopefully they come out with the dub. The Clippers, let's take a look at them. That's who we playing tonight. Right now, the Clippers are 9th. They're in play-in position. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and so is the Knicks. They're 1 game out of 500 right now, the Clippers. And of course, Kawhi Leonard, for all of the times he's been in Anthony Ambulance University since he left Toronto, he's been living in the student union of Anthony Ambulance University. But this year, Kawhi has been carrying them, okay? So they moved off of Paul George. They moved off of James Harden. We understand that. But now Kawhi is being Kawhi. And they got Darius Garland. He's going to be playing. Kawhi Leonard. John Collins is out, but Derrick Jones Jr., since he was in Chicago, has been a Knick killer. I wanted the Knicks to get him at one point. Very good piece, very good piece that you want on your team. He's one of them energy dudes you want coming off the bench. He may start. And then, of course, Brook Lopez is 100 years old, could still hit a 3, could still play solid basketball. So this is not going to be easy, but the Knicks can get it done. And the thing is, there is a difference between mentally, intellectually understanding what needs to be done and actually being able to perform it. Tonight will depend on, again, the energy. They know what they got to do, okay? Brunson understands he needs to get off that damn ball, okay? Start passing it, especially early in the first couple of quarters of a game. The Knicks understand they got to keep the other opponent out of the paint. Reeves was killing us yesterday. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not trying to down the Lakers. The Knicks are a better team. Okay, if they played the Lakers in 7 games, I think the Knicks would win in 5. Okay, in a playoff situation. So I'm not worried about the Lakers. But the Lakers are a good team. I don't agree with Charles Barkley, who says they're not a good team. They are a good team. You cannot have Luka Doncic on your team and not be a good team, because he's just that dude. So you got Luka. Reeves is good, and so they're a good team. But the Knicks are a better team. It's just that this is the league, and in the 82-game season, on any given night, any team could beat any team. So yesterday was one of them given nights. So now we hope the Knicks can come back on a given night tonight. Ball movement, keeping your opponent out the paint, getting it in your opponent's paint. 3-point weak side defense. Okay? Without Mitchell Robinson, we got to put a concerted effort on the boards today. And I know Cat's going to do that. We're going to need Hooporti to do that. We're going to need Sohan, if he comes in there, to do that. We're going to need our guys to show up like that today. And it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting night tonight. So let's hope our guys will have the energy to drink that Gatorade, whatever you got to do. Get that rest, get the massages, get yourself ready, and be ready to play tonight. So today, the game is apparently on Peacock or NBC. I hate Peacock, but anyway, I think we're gonna get that tonight. So anyway, here we go. And in LA, again, let's get this dub. Next game after this is at Utah. So this don't get any easier. People say, well, these are sub 500 teams. I hate that. Look, this is the NBA. Okay, every team is good. I mean, some are better than others, obviously, but they all have NBA players on them. On any given night, anybody can beat anybody. Okay. Now, if a team is tanking, okay. Now Utah already got fined for that, so they ain't gonna tank. Okay. So it's not gonna be easy. And then of course Indiana. Listen, throw the records out when the Knicks play the Pacers. Throw the records out. Y'all should know that. Okay. It's gonna be a dogfight in Indiana this week. But tonight we got the Clippers. Tonight we gotta get this done. Tonight we gotta execute. Tonight. Key thing is, will they have the energy? There's no way to tell. We just hope they will. If they do, they're a better team than the Clippers. The Knicks are. But again, energy level will determine it. Y'all have a good night. Don't take this loss like the end of the world. The end of the world is coming, but not based on the Knicks loss. Enjoy it. Be safe out there. Shalom.